115 Day, which with international date formatting makes a little less sense, is the annual Treyarch celebration of zombies each January 15th in accordance with the established element 115. It's been a long-standing tradition in Black Ops games and any title that has had a connection to the zombies universe, and most of the times we see some sort of celebration. This year's no exception. In fact, instead of just a little celebration encouraging players to play zombies in the game a little further, we actually got a really insightful look at what's to come and way sooner than we probably expected. Today we're running down 115 Days reveals and what you need to know, what you should take advantage of, and what you can get ready for in the meantime. So drop your thoughts as we go along, drop a like if you enjoy the video, and make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all things Black Ops 6 and other FPS content. Also, make sure to follow over on Twitch. Hoping to get a stream going here in the next day or two before heading out for the weekend, but then back into the swing of things here the following and beyond. So if you want to just casually chat, watch some games that are and are not Call of Duty, I'd love to have you in both communities. But for now, let's get into it. So first, 115 Day today. What's the celebration we have currently in game that you can actually engage with right now? Well, today until the 21st at 10 a.m. Pacific time, we'll see quad double XP. So that means double player XP, double weapon XP, double battle pass XP, which can be really helpful here if you haven't completed your battle pass just yet, with the time winding down on the season, and 2 times gobblegum earn rate. I'm always cool with that. I put 100%er on the back burner recently to try and work out a bit more of the Nebula camo grind while some challenges weren't tracking, so I'll take all of that, including the gobblegum. But okay, that's cool, but the big thing that Treyarch promised earlier was the first look at DLC 2, and with that, they did deliver. This being the biggest part of the reveal, though there is still some cool quality of life stuff mentioned and some trivia that we'll talk about a little later on down the line, but DLC 2, The Tomb, launches with Season 2 on the 28th. Described as, after surviving the horrific events at Citadel de Moore, Weaver, Gray, Carver, and Maya follow Gabriel Craft's final word to a nearby excavation site to secure the Sentinel artifact. Built on the remains of the ancient burial grounds with the suspected origins dating back to 2500 BCE, these catacombs went undisturbed for centuries until the early 1900s, and what lies beneath may run deeper than anyone ever imagined. As the rumors have it, a British archaeologist by the name of Sir Archibald Forthington Smythe conducted an excavation at the site back in 1908 with grand expectations. Although no one can say for sure what became of him, a handful of photographs from his doomed expedition have recently surfaced. That's what we're seeing on screen alongside this. Treyarch stated, "We've crafted the tomb to provide an experience similar to Liberty Falls, by far the most played zombies map in recent years, featuring tighter play spaces with a focus on replayability. Just like in Liberty Falls, they're delivering plenty of side Easter eggs and now even a reimagined wonder weapon inspired by our past." But that's all they'll say for now. And as a reminder, they said every zombies map in Black Ops 6 is an original location built from the ground up for the mode, but that doesn't mean we can't enjoy a wink and a nod here and there. On that note, we're going for something a little more evocative with our Pack-a-Punch camos this time around, and what if they told us that one of the most iconic SMGs in zombies history was coming along for the ride? Closing with, stay tuned for more details on the gameplay content coming to the Tomb and zombies overall in next week's Season 2 reveal blog. So we know that next week the reveal for sure is going to be happening. It usually is pretty standard for that to be the case, but to have it officially noted is definitely a nice mention. Wish they would have said which day that was, but doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. But beyond that, we do know of a few additional things here, including a few quality of life changes that will be coming as of the update on the 28th with Season 2's launch. So the first of which that I'm actually really excited for is challenge tracking and near completion heads up in-game. This is going to be for both zombies and multiplayer, revealed in this zombies blog, but also going to be there for multiplayer. Interesting that it's not in Warzone just yet. I don't know if that will be something that will eventually get there, but it says you can manually track up to 10 calling card challenges and 10 camo challenges per mode to easily keep track of challenges you're progressing. Now, I'd be curious if that is like 20 total or 10 that you can mix and match. It said if you have less than 10 calling card challenges or 10 camo challenges tracked, your nearest challenges to completion will display in those slots instead, which is definitely something that can be beneficial. The top tracked or near completion calling card challenges and camo challenges will both also appear in the lobby as well as in-game via the options menu. Now, valid question, why wasn't this there on launch? It was there in Modern Warfare 3, right? So why didn't we see this as something that launched with Black Ops 6? Now, if you're interested in a genuine, logical answer here, not just to try and discount and find a reason to be mad at it, what's coming from my understanding, having talked with devs over the years, the answer just simply comes down to the developmental timetable and track of everything that developers are trying to accomplish. Modern Warfare 3 added this in post-launch, which is within that window of when Black Ops 6 was really just hard focused on getting the game to ship and launch. I mean, that's that developmental crunch time you'll always hear about before a game ships. At that point, Treyarch and whoever was working on any part of the upcoming game was hard locked on making sure the plans for everything set back in 2021, right after they finished Cold War. The goal was to make sure that everything planned then would make it to launch. That's why it takes a few games for some of these cool features to become a core tenet of the game. Seeing that feedback of a cool quality of life feature can then be baked into those initial plans for what a studio can do with their next game, instead of it being an afterthought, baking it then into the core product. So just a little bit of an explanation here from what I gather on why this is coming in Season 2. But anyways, beyond that, we also have a co-op pause, a new cool feature that will allow the entire squad to take a little break if they want, where if everyone is in the same party for a match, the party leader can initiate a pause. Now, to my knowledge, if I'm understanding this right, this is something that if you have 3 people in a party and you're playing with one random, it doesn't seem like that will actually apply. There's also going to be an AFK loadout recovery, where if a player gets kicked for going AFK in a co-op game, now they'll be able to rejoin and restore their loadout. Separate HUD presets for zombies and multiplayer are also coming. That was also something previewed by Treyarch, which, again, I'm all for. Some people really love that hardcore variation here where you have minimal information in zombies, but you don't want that to transfer over to multiplayer. Now that's not going to be the case. They also stated they wanted to get this one in sooner, but the team had to refocus on higher priorities as they came up. So your guess is as good as mine as to what that could be, because there's been a litany of different issues that could have taken priority there. But anyways, some wild reveals and new information out of this. There's a few things, though, that I want to talk about a little further. Coming back to the details about the tomb, it said one of the most iconic SMGs in Zombies history was coming along for the ride. Many are right now thinking this is the MP40, but that also could be something we end up seeing something else. But the cool part is that we know that we're going to see an iconic SMG coming to not only Zombies, but also multiplayer at this point. We got to consider this isn't just an Easter egg thing here they're talking about, though they did also say there's a reimagined wonder weapon inspired by the franchise's past. So very curious to see what that will be as well. But one thing that I also want to discuss here that is a little bit more so speculative in nature is, are we going to see more than just 4 DLC maps this post-launch season for Zombies? So like, the release of this map is incredibly surprising, to me at least, because by far it's the fastest turnaround we've ever seen for a Zombies map to another, just reaching 7 weeks between Citadel des Morts launch and what will be the launch of The Tomb. Usually this stuff is staggered by a season and a half, meaning about 3 months. So with 6 seasons and only 4 maps per post-launch season, you of course can't have one every single season, can you? So this is kind of putting that formula we've seen the last couple of years and putting it on its head. But while I'm not expecting that to be the case of 1 map every season, it certainly opens up the idea for at least another map beyond perhaps what we expected. I certainly don't think that I'd expect another map at the launch of Season 3, or perhaps even in Season 3 at all, because that's almost certainly entirely reserved for Warzone and Verdansk's return there. Season 4 very well could have something, and then 5 and 6, who knows what those may hold as well. Insider, the Ghost of Hope, who accurately predicted this to be the case a few days ago, stated he would consider the previous information as outdated in regards to only expecting 4 maps in post-launch. So sure, that could be subject to change, but it's definitely something that, with hearing that from somebody that got that information correct, and then also seeing the timetables of how things have worked previously compared to how they're working now, kind of adds up. So I'm very curious to see what the future holds here at this. But beyond that, we also ended up getting only a few other cool details where it stated it was directed mode was something that was a large success, not only because it was helping people with camo grinding and stuff, but because of the 480 million hours played in Zombies that Treyarch has said they logged. The main quest didn't even crack 4% completion on the general population before directed mode, but with directed mode introduced, that number shot up from 3.38% to 8.23%. And while the majority of players may not care to do story quests and just want to kill some zombies or work on camos or chill out or whatever your reasoning for loading up a game is, it's cool to see that it's been engaging to the point where it's over doubled that completion rate of the main quests. I do think that anytime you make something more accessible like this, and in a way that's fun and doesn't really detract from the offering, I think that's a huge win. And also, just a bit of insight, they did say how they name Pack-a-Punch camos and came up with some of the names we see in-game currently, which is a truly trivial piece of information, but I personally think it's always kind of cool to see the behind-the-scenes perspective and some of the thought process behind that stuff. But anyways, Largely, I'd say that this was a pretty good 115 day. For those that celebrate it and enjoy the zombies content each year that this happens, I think it was pretty good. Obviously, there's still plenty that need to be done to Black Ops 6 as a whole, to Warzone as a whole. The issues we've talked about and that people have don't go away because we have this shiny new toy of, oh, look over here. But I also do think it's fair to acknowledge cool shit when it's a win, even if it's just one sub-base of the community in Zombies. Zombies fans are eating really well this year, and especially having seen my friends that I interact with and follow that have been loyalists to Zombies, seeing them thrive this year after a few rough years of absolutely nothing to go off of, makes me happy to see people enjoying it and engaging with it as much as they have been. So, looking forward to jumping into The Tomb in 2 weeks when it launches. Might actually do some guides and content here on this, because at this point, I'm just about done with all that can be done in multiplayer. I mean, camos, 100%er. I still have a small number of mastery badges to go for. I could do reticle mastery, but like, if I'm wanting to make informational, insightful, and helpful content, it does line up perfectly that I'm starting to shift over to grinding zombies now for camos, 100%er, mastery badges, and stuff like that. So, at the least, I'd expect a few short-form guides here with the launch of Season 2, but who knows? Maybe we'll do some full-on guides as well. Could be fun if you'd be interested in zombies content. But anyways, that's where we're gonna wrap it up. Just want to fill you guys in with some Black Ops 6 information here for 115 day and what's upcoming in just 2 weeks now at this point. So let me know your thoughts down below. Looking forward to another map already. What weapon do you think is that classic SMG coming back? Whatever the case, let me know your thoughts down below. But if you guys enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing running all things Black Ops 6 as we gear up for Season 2 here in just a little bit of time. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.